In life, we encounter people every day, all of whom have stories to share. We rarely take the time to ask people their personal stories, many of which will touch, move, and inspire us in some way. Matt has a passion for making authentic connections and learning about people from all walks of life. He has lived a life of giving back to the community and making a difference in people's lives. Are you ready to meet fascinating people and hear some inspiring stories? The Matt Hilton Show will introduce you to a world of possibilities you never knew existed. Sit back, be present, and enjoy. Here's your host, Matt Hilton.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into the Matt Hilton Show today. We have a special treat in store for you. As you are watching, please tune in and subscribe to the YouTube channel and also share and comment and do all the things. Also on Facebook, the Matt Hilton Show Facebook page. So all those things, you can hear it on Audible. So if you're in your car and you want to listen to the episode, you can do that there as well. Any of the platforms. So please like and share and comment and do all the things. So today's guest is another fascinating person with an inspiring story. I don't know much about him, so today is going to be a time that I get to know Jeffrey as well. Jeffrey Gray is here with us. He is a Marine. And he is also someone who does some acting, and we'll talk about that as well amongst some other things. So Jeffrey, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
Nice.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Where were you born, and what did you do as a kid for fun?
If I can remember that. I was born in Dallas, Texas, in 1959. I grew up basically in Rockwall, Texas. Even though I live in Rowlett, Rockwall is my hometown. Okay. I consider both of them the same thing.
Yeah.
But I had a great childhood. I can't tell you some things I did because they were kind of crazy, but nothing to get me in trouble with the law. It was just my mother knew somewhere in there that I was going to be in the Marine Corps or something like that.
Okay.
But I ran track and sports and played some football, and I still follow the Yellow Jackets. Yes,
There we go. There we go.
And we can get into what I am now, but what I do now. But my childhood had a lot to it. I had a great family support. I still do. I'm one of the oldest of my family. Okay. I'm 64, so the males in my family didn't live very long from heart disease and stuff, so I cherish every single day. My dad died at 40.
At 40.
So I'm here for a reason, right. And I'll get to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What led you to the Marine Corps?
That's a good question. What did? I think about that, especially that morning when I woke up and I was there. Why does anybody join the military? Well, I figured I needed guidance, since I had really nobody no father. I had a stepfather, which I loved him to death, but I wasn't a good person at that time. I needed some guidance, and that was the best for me.
And did you know that, Jeffrey, at that time? Like, did you know I need guidance, or were there people telling you, hey, you need some guidance here?
I figured it out on my own.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't have graduated high school, because that senior year, some part I was having issues. You could call them PTSI or PTSD as an incidents. I was just having problems that I didn't know how to get answers to like we have today. There are a lot of answers out there for you. My counselor helped me get back in school and graduate. Probably, I don't know if my GPA can give me anything today.
But you got the certificate.
Yeah, she really changed my life, and I've owed it to her to this day. And I owe my coaches. We're actually let my surrogate fathers. In fact, two of my coaches have a name on the Rockwall football field. Coach Cameron and Dan Webb. They had a lot to me to go. And so I had a lot of backing to get me there, and I wasn't going to let anybody down anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Training for the Marine Corps, what was that like in boot camp and all the things?
Oh, it was fun.
Was it fun?
No.
And did you train in California? Like what is
I'm a Hollywood Marine.
Okay.
I don't care what you say. They all both got both things. They had the sand fleas, and we got this hill that's that you got to make. And every day to make sure that you're challenged every single minute. And it's going to be one of the day or maybe days that it was not going to be your day. They were going to make sure of it. So I learned a lot about myself. They break you down.
Okay.
If I can say this word, they call you a maggot. But that means it's the lowest part of life. So they build you up, and you feel it somewhere in there. I mean, it was about 92 something days, and it takes a while. Your hair will start and buzz. I had like hair like you, on the ground that day, and so you're like, oh boy, what I've done. But they got reasons for everything they do.
Now, you may not understand them at the time.
Nope, they don't want you to.
When do you start to realize the reasons?
Probably about a month into when they break you down, they'll build you back up.
Okay.
And they weed out a few people, but it's a team-oriented thing still. Even though we're individuals, you got to get the individuals down to where you can be a team member. They got to find out who can be the leaders, and they even rotate them. They'll think you're way up here and then knock you right back down. There's reasons for that, and I can give to you like an example. Later on in the Marine Corps, I was a sergeant, and I was on the howitzers, and I'd have a crew, and I knew that I probably wouldn't go on to the war, Desert Storm, because of my knee. So I had a chance to do something that was taught to me in boot camp. We had 6 on the crew, and I would be running. I was running the drills, and I said, "I'm killed. You're it. You're me." Shocked them, and they learned that one day they're it. Maybe on a surprise, and that was a surprise. And my lieutenants and everything were like that. And I got about a few years later down the road, one of the guys found me. I wish I could find it. It was a guy was on Facebook. Found me and told me that that's what he did in real life, but he didn't die. But he trained them. But he got hurt enough that one of those guys had to take over. So that's one of the biggest things is that it's a team, just like today, we're all on a team. If we're not, we're in trouble. And somebody's got to be able to take over.
We're all on a team. What are you talking about politically? Or are you talking about us as humans?
Can you imagine if the world was all together in one? I mean, really? But even if we just you can only control where you are. And it gets back to what I'm doing. I'm doing it for the team. And the team meaning my brothers and sisters in arms. And I'll say that past and present, and for all the first responders. I want them to know that I have their 6.
There we go. Have their 6.
And that's what I mean. If we all, it's hard probably to love each other. And I don't want that feeling of trying to hurt anybody anymore. I will protect people.
Sure.
With my life. But that's what I mean by team. We need to be, you don't have to be spiritual together. We could still love each other for our color, race, whatever.
Yeah.
And we all pray for that. I know we do.
And even when we don't agree with somebody, we can still love them.
Yeah, you have the right to do everything. That's what we went to war and combat for you. And, it's what your police officers, your first responders are out there for. They could care less. They're out there to save you, period. And that's why if we all had that little bit of feeling what they do, I think we could change the world around.
Yes, sir. I agree. So how long did you serve?
12 years.
Actively served 12 years. And what did you do, and what was the time period there? Just to give us some perspective.
You mean the dates?
The dates, like years that you served.
Well, I rounded off to 12 because I had, beforehand, and then I like to count the before because I was a year before I went in. I did a lot before I went. But it was probably 1977 that's when I enlisted, right out of football. And then I probably almost to 90, around 90.
Okay.
That's where they finally gave me my time. But did a lot in that period. I went around the world.
What's one place that stands out in your mind and why?
Well, And I was an embassy guard. They call them us Marine security guards. And my first post was in a communist country at the time, Sofia, Bulgaria. That brings more to me because of our freedom. They didn't have that back then. Now they're out of the block now, but when they were, they couldn't openly Christianity, anything. So I saw it in their face every day. They were basically scared of me because they made them fear me. And there was nothing to fear. I was probably more, because I was considered, if anything were to happen, we were to do, I'm not going to get into details, but protect the embassy at all costs.
Sure.
Get you out of there if something were to happen, and we were considered basically collateral damage. But I was ready for it. You just didn't think about it. You know, like a police officer, when he knows he's come up on anything at any given time and have to use his weapon or not use it, I had never had to get that far because they don't think about it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I never thought about it. If anything would happen, I had a job to do, and that's what you think about. My job was to get you out of there, period.
After you served, what did you do? Did you go on to further education through the GI Bill? Like what were some things?
I wish I would have. I was kind of pissed off at myself, not the government as much as me, because of we were going to war and I couldn't go help. And my time was up, and they gave me an option to go out as a honorable discharge or medical, and I probably should have took that. Pride got in my way. We are prideful, and sometimes that does get in the way. My knee was messed up, and kept me from going. And then when I got out, I had some time to just reflect and see what I wanted to do. So I worked at Collin County Sheriff's Department as a jailer.
Okay. And
I wish that if I did anything right now, I wish I'd have stuck that a little longer, but it was political a little bit more than I wanted it to be. So was the military. You know, what I mean by that, you got to change, and people know I know you, and you know somebody, and the promotions and everything can be used that. Nothing to down that, okay, because probably in a lot of cases it works well. But for me, I was ready. I wasn't prepared for that. It was a little bit back into the military, 10 hut, left foot, right foot kind of stuff. Then wasn't sure if I wanted to continue that. I wish I'd probably just, if I was going to do it, stay there and got out of that, because I could have used that to actually get, full benefits and everything. So I went and worked and did security for a long time. Okay. Right now, I'm retired.
So how does someone who has served in the military get into acting? How did that come about?
Well, it's kind of a fluke. I knew somebody that was doing it, and I said, I started, I don't know, it was kind of weird. I coming back there, I was trying to think exactly when it was. It's around 2014. It was little things, because if anybody's going to do that, I said, you got to start on the bottom. And some people make it really quick to the top, and think they miss something. A lot of them do of what goes on, and behind the scenes and everything. And it was just I applied for things. I did a little bit of it, and then I found it's harder to act than you think it is, especially with my brain. And I've had a couple of concussions, but the memory is it's not just that; it's what you're trying to tell. What are you trying to tell? And that was taught to me. Number one line I went into, Catherine Hart, I love you. She taught me some things about acting, that you got to be you a lot of times, but you got to tell a story in one line maybe. What are you trying to tell me? And instead of just reading the line. I haven't got that down. That takes a lot of talent. I don't got that.
Because it's sometimes not just about the words, right? It's about facial expressions. It's about all sorts of things.
Everything's got to click. You got to be yourself in there a little bit. But I learned a lot about myself too, and how actually sometimes it's really fun and sometimes a lot of work. I mean, besides doing it, I've done crew too. I've done sound a couple of times, but I've been on some sets. Watched. The biggest one I ever did was Hillary's Miracle is one of the biggest, but there's one. Alita Battle Angel, and big set in Austin, and you watch everything, what's going around you. They have handlers for the animals. They have PAs, lights, 6 cameras rolling. They built the set, and you're just going, wow. Some people don't do that. Always tell people you got to just watch what's going on around you. And then you hear this bell will go off ring, and these people disappear, and you got it's yours. Even background. Don't ever tell a lot of people background is acting. It's probably just as much acting as anybody has lines.
Tell me more about that.
Well, I mean, like if I'm walking by and I'm supposed to go pick up something, you got to do it normal, like you know, probably when they say tell you. You got to go. You got to take instruction very well. But without background, there's no film and a lot of scenes. You know, with all the little people walking around doing their little thing. But you get to be part. You got to be part of the group. But you also do it. You got to act. You can't be looking at the camera. We're pouring a drink. You got to act like there's somebody like you or pouring you the drink. I might not even say anything.
Right.
But also, when you do acting, if you're a supporting actor, which I'd rather be, is like if you're the lead, my job is to make you look good. Period. And if I can get that out of you, and you get, vice versa, the scene is going to be what it should be. I haven't got to yet, but I'm working on it.
What was the most difficult scene that you've had to do so far?
Die.
Oh.
I get killed a lot.
Okay.
Some films, it's not as easy as you think.
To die.
Yeah. I've had to be dead in a scene once where they're fighting over me. It was freezing cold. Okay. And it was interesting. That was probably the most having blood and the pack busted in the back of you, and then you got to hit a wall. I went through the wall almost one time. That was probably, but I haven't had to do anything. I don't run unless you pay me a lot. You're chasing me with a truck. But I've been very, very fortunate with a lot of things I've been on. If you want to get, I want to say The Chosen was probably one of the biggest that I've enjoyed. And it's the show too, but it's also the people in the show, the people that run the show, write the show. It's just awesome. And a very spiritual awakening kind of deal. And if you haven't watched it, I'm plugging that one. The Chosen is the thing to watch because it will help a lot of people.
So where did you film?
I don't know if I can say that.
Can you say?
Well,
where you filmed?
they put it on Facebook. Yeah, the first time they filmed it in a place up in Poolville called Capernaum Studios, but then they ended up building their own set. Okay. And there's Capernaum Town in Midlothian. You can probably see the dome.
In Midlothian, okay.
And from the dome, there's a dome you can see. It's out kind of in the country a little bit, but it's like where the studio is inside to do the inside scenes. And just being part of that and wearing I was a Roman soldier. I also got to be, one of the townspeople. But just doing that, and you see the gentleman, the great actor who plays Jesus, and you're around these Roman soldiers, and just you're telling a story. It's the best story of all. The life and travels of Jesus Christ. Is there any better? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything I could top with that.
Well, and my preacher talks about The Chosen a lot from the pulpit. And he's like, this is the best produced, it's a great show to watch.
Dallas Jenkins this past time, he's the director and co-writer, and he is my God, he's turned this, he broke a record for crowd funding, to get this started. And what he's done is unreal in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And the millions and millions of people that follow this show, the actors are superb, and who he's chose, their family, we're part of the family. I don't know, I was like, wow, I'm here. And you think that too, and then you see it happening. I haven't seen the season 4 yet, but it's coming in February, by the way. I think it's in theaters first. There's going to be 7 seasons, and we got a lot to go, a lot more. But he tells the story of Jesus through his daily activities and maybe not every day, but how he got to disciples and all this and going on around him. That he is a human being first, but he's controlled by God. And there's one thing in there where I liked where Well, I understood it. Let's put it that way. He can't help everybody. He can't save everybody because he said that in there. That's not how it worked. It made sense to me. Some people don't understand that. You can't save everybody. You got to have some souls down here. You also got to have some up there. And I believe, you ever heard of Valhalla?
No.
That's a warrior meaning that I believe if I'm a warrior here, I'm going to be a warrior up there.
Okay.
Of course, he's got to let me. But I believe it, and I tell people, and one gets back to where I walk the bridge. You know, there's people in the first responder world, in the military, that have taken their own lives. But I also believe, and I tell some of the spouses this, that God couldn't help them here. He needed them up there. Now, we don't understand. It's kind of the same things when people die in a car crash and things like that. So he knew they needed help. Demons were too strong, or he's going to lose them to the devil. So they took their life. Probably, I believe, a lot of times because he wanted them. And now they're warriors for God. I believe that too.
Yeah.
Everything I have. And maybe the people who don't believe me out there, that's fine. This is my belief.
That's your belief.
And because that's my next job.
Yeah.
Is up there.
So you just mentioned walk the bridge. So tell me about that. What does that encompass?
To get back to, at one time, I wanted to die. And I didn't want to commit suicide. I just didn't want to be here. What got me that way, I still don't really kind of know.
That was my next question.
But the hole was really, really deep. And I didn't think I had a way out of it. Just things that had happened through my life, good and bad. You know, it's just like the PTSD. You could be sitting there, you could laugh and be having a good time, and you get a panic attack. Or something to that effect. And you're just like, why did that happen? Well, so I weighed 407 pounds. I could care less. I wasn't mean, but yes, probably, I don't want to say the word, but yes. I just didn't care, and thank God for my wife, Jeanette, because she stuck with me. And there's a lot of probably would have never got close to that. But get out of here. But something had to happen, and it did. It took some time. I was on a walker, a little walker. And I was at the point my cousin was dying, and I would visit him when I could. That in itself was a start. Getting in my car, going up to the hospital, be with him. And he whispered something to me that I'll never forget. He just said, and it wasn't all pleasant words, but the point was that I needed to do something. I needed to get back in my old ways in this, the Marine kind of thing. Because he saw the change from me in there. And it took a while. That was the first sign from God saying, I got something for you, listen to me. And I didn't get enough. It took some other things happening. It's hard to say what they all were, but they were words my mom told me, that same kind of thing, and just things would happen. And it's like the bridge thing. I said, okay, I got to do something, or I'm going to die. I said, I just made that change. You make the change from good to good really quick, if you want to. And I knew I wanted to. You have to. I tell people this all the time. You got to take that first step. And nobody's going to, and some people will push you. I got pushed. Okay, that was Jerry, and that was my mom. But I got pushed that other way. So
what was the first thing you did when you made that change?
Well, I tried to start losing weight on my own, but then my mom left me some money to have the sleeve surgery. Okay. That in itself is an undertaking. It was on. I had tested myself a lot. I wouldn't say everybody go try to do something like that because it's a lot of work. You change your whole life around, whole body, everything. So I had to make a decision, and I did. And it led to me just walking at a little place down in Rowlett. She probably remembers. There's a little pond down there by Centerville. Don't smell the prettiest down there. That's where our water plant is. But it was a start. then somebody told me about the bridge, and I mean, the first day I didn't even have water on me, and I didn't have a backpack or none of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 miles down and 2 miles back. And I was like, whoa. and I walked the whole thing, which I probably shouldn't have. It was, I also have a bad knee. I've had
Right. I was going to ask about the knee.
Yeah, I've
Did
had
you have a brace on it when you were walking?
5 knee surgeries, and 2 ankles, 2 underneath the heel,
Mm-hmm.
and a ruptured Achilles. And then I've had my shoulder, my elbow. Oh my gosh. So a lot of that was already happening.
Yeah.
So the excuses, now here's a key thing we use. I was trying to make the effort and not the excuse. That is on the bridge right now. But I'll get to that, where that came from. So I started walking, and I said, I got to have a mission besides me. There's got to be something else out there to drive me. And that's where God stepped in again. And I found out, here's the thing, you meet the right people at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And you just sometimes don't see it. And that happened to me. I really don't want to say names because they know who they are. Several guys that I know. They knew I was talking about the military suicides. I didn't know this till then. Okay, I was 14 around there. I didn't know all this time. 22 a day. It's actually more than that now. But, so I thought about, wait a minute, let's get back to where I started to talk about work, the flag. And before that, that's what I was walking. I said, I got to do something. All right, so I go back. I was walking outside. I was carrying a little backpack with a little flag. And then one day, my little flag it's a wooden one that fell. Mm. And I picked it up and put it in the truck. I said, well, there we go. That's that simple. No reason why I'm carrying that flag to this day.
Right.
And it just became a thing. Then I started that's when the walking the bridge. I said, I got to do something. At the time, I think it was Memorial Day and Veterans Day. I think it was a Veterans Day. But somewhere in there, they woke up, and there's guys that put flags all the way down the bridge. And it was kind of came my thing. Mm-hmm. But they know who it was. But here's the thing. I said it became my thing, but it's not my thing. It's everybody's thing. It's my brothers and sisters' thing. I am just the capsule that walks the bridge carrying a flag. They are in me. And it's where it gives the effort, make the effort, not the excuse for them. And when I'm on the bridge, I don't feel my pain. I feel theirs.
Right.
Because I cannot imagine, nobody can, when you get to that point. There's a story where I kind of did a little film about it, where a gentleman's about to do it, and actually a kitty makes a sound outside and makes him stop right at the time of doing it. And he stopped and realized, what am I doing? To this day, a bullet still says something by his mirror, because he stopped. That little bitty thing of a cat stopping. Some people might get those little hints and just don't see them. I can't imagine what's got to happen to you in life to make you go that far. And so I made it my goal is to continue doing this for them, not me. And every time I'll post a lot of times on there when I'm going to bridge, just letting people know that I'm out there too. But I'm out there for them.
Do people walk with you?
It's kind of hard to do that. She'll tell you. It's only it's a bike trail. So I had to change different flags because it would pop somebody who stood next to me. But nobody walks with me, but I don't walk alone. And I think you get that.
Yeah, I do.
And I'm in awe a lot of times to even being here, as long as I could tell that story, always makes me gets me. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to the meeting people at the right time. I met her, look, right here. And I met some great people at the right time. And I want to say their name, John Snurro and Brian Wilbur. They're from 2 parts of the area. But they got together and done so much in so little time with hardly any resources at the time. They formed #WalkTheBridge. Now, I had a part to do with it, yes, but not the extreme. And I made sure that it's their own thing. Because I'm just me. I have what I'm doing still within the group of what we're all doing. But I focus on, I'm a loner, or what you want to call it. But people see me, they know that I am them. You know, I'm not a group. I could be easily them. I'm working for them, always. So are they, but I'm working as one. It's just the way I prefer it. I'm still part of the Walk the Bridge. I always will be. But they renamed the bridge. Here on the Rowlett Bridge. I know some people, but that just got me because it was exactly what I wanted to be done. It is for them. Not only that, I don't know if Kathy knows this. They have got it working. It's already been in the work. I mean, it's going to happen. There's right on the rock wall side. There's a little where I park and start walking. It's going to be a memorial park, and what that park is for, not just the guys that have taken their lives. They're still heroes. They were all killed on the line of duty, as far as I'm concerned. Right. These are first responders and military. And it's probably, I don't know, I haven't really talked to them exactly who they're going to put on there, but there's going to be a board that's like a TV script thing that's going to be running all the time. Pretty sure there's going to be a flagpole there. We all know we wanted, well, there's a guy, getting back to the flag, there's one flag on the bridge. I had nothing to do with it, but I just thought that's the guy that put it there. He put a light on it and didn't take care of it. And he has. He don't want his name being mentioned. I don't even know if I remember. But anyways, it's there because he wants it there, but it's also he knows why it's there. Yeah. People get to that point. To get to that sign, you have to make the effort. This is at the 1 mile marker. Now, getting back to signs. Right now, I think there's 4 that are local that have taken their lives between officers and 1 Marine. Now, there's others, but I always ask permission if I could. Just kind of give an idea of what this is going to be like. And I stop there every day, or every time I walk, and I render arms to them. And there's a little prayer. God, don't get me wrong, I'm not real good at that, but it's the one where you walk to the shadow of death, to fear no evil. Well, I know. That's up there. And I say that in my head before I walk every day. You know what? This goes back to this thing. Why did I put those pictures up? I don't know. He does. Yeah. Got to honor. I had to honor him. But I just don't. I didn't do it. That had nothing to do with me. I didn't want anything for it. I just wanted something for those families to go to honor them. Right. And I say this to people: if you're out there and you're feeling close to that at that time, we are here for you. I'm going to make sure they're listening. Look at me. We're here for you. I got you sick, and I'll listen. There's officers out there, whether you're a first responder or a veteran, reach out to us. Don't go that far. And let me tell you something. If you do that, your pain's not over. On this earth it is, but their pain, your family has got your pain. They're going to deal with what you went through for the rest of their lives. And it's possible somebody in that family will do the same thing. Because what I coulda, shoulda, what I've done for you. So please don't go there. I'm begging you. There's help for you somewhere. We'll get you help. And also John and Brian, it's called V-Rock. Brian does it more than anything. Brian Wilburn and V-Rock and Rowlett, just along with the Walk the Bridge, has saved 11 lives. 1 is big. 11, we got a lot of work to do because there's 22, if not, I think we heard there's 47 a day. I have no idea how many are the first responders, but let me put it to you this way. First responders deal with death a lot. I call them the 24/7 people because they deal with this 24/7, and how they do it, I don't know. And you got to understand what they see every day. It could be a baby dying. It could be, they save lives, but they also lose lives. Just put that in your thought process. You got to deal with that. And how they do it, it's got to be God. But then some can't handle it. And they had the same thing. Reach out to us. And don't be prideful. Okay? They're working a lot of the organizations out there, police departments and everything, fire departments are working to make sure that you have a way out. And I don't mean quit, but I mean a way out of your mind and get into the mindset. You know, when I say it, I mean this. Mindset is everything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different mindsets, depending on what you're doing. But you want to be here on this earth, period. You got family, you got friends that are looking at for you. The demons are strong. Trust me, I deal with them a lot. And but I'm never going to take my life. I can promise you that. I cherish every morning that I get up, every single moment, and so do you. You need to. Okay, I walk for you. Period. All of us do. So you're not alone.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was very powerful. Before the show started, I asked if you brought your item with you that brought you joy. And you said, yep, I did. So share that with us.
Well, it's just one of a coin. Can I read this?
Yes, sir.
At times, the task ahead may seem insurmountable, but with God, all things are possible. The same power that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. Don't give up, because you will see the reward due season if you keep doing what you know is right. That's just one. I have others that I give out, and I felt this one was best for you and for my great friend over there, Kathy. It's somebody outside of me has your best interest.
Yeah.
And he is the power while we're here. So this is for you.
Oh, thank you. So
One
this
was
is what
given to
brings you
me.
joy.
One was given to me similar like that, but I don't carry it with me all the time because I'm afraid to lose it. But it's in my backpack.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My pleasure. And in the military, these are called challenge coins, right? And what is the purpose of a challenge coin? What does that do?
Usually when you challenge one, you'll get one back. Okay. It was basically when, I think if I remember right, it's for the officers who went to OCS or something, and their trainers or instructors, they would exchange the coin, and that's where I think the challenge coin came from. It doesn't mean you have to go down and give me 150 setups or whatever, anything like that.
I was sweating there for a minute. Okay.
No, it's just I just challenge you to do, take care of yourself, and doesn't mean I expect see, there's the thing, when you challenge to give them back, you don't really expect to get anything back. The thing is that giving it to you is what I get back. Your look says it all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Also, can I say, I gave one
Yes.
to my friend Kathy.
You gave one to Kathy as well. Fantastic.
I don't give, I'm not saying that I wish I had 1,000 of them. Sure. That. I'd give one if I could, but I've given to certain people. I've actually given my flag to certain people that meet my criteria, honor, courage, commitment to whatever they're doing, and they deserve the flag for that, for what they've done. Been football coaches, been people all over that I've just made in contact with that still haven't. I got them. So, like I said, I got to give back. I had to give back something to the coaches that helped me.
Right.
So I give them something to help them.
Well, and your shirt says it all. I can, I will, I must.
And this is unwritten. I don't even know. See, there's the thing too. I just saw that somewhere. I didn't go look for it. It popped up.
Yeah.
But it's on my calf. It's tattooed on my left calf. So I have something. There's a picture. The first picture I ever took of that is right when I was going to walk and there was blood running down it from the tattoo. That was wild.
Yeah.
Glad of grace.
There we go. Well, thank you for your service. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for...
Thank you, Kathy, for
Yes.
inviting me.
yes, for finding you and inviting you on the show, and just thank you for the impact you're having on people's lives. And just, Jeffrey, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And y'all, thank you for tuning in. And as taking of life and suicide was mentioned today, here is the national hotline for suicide prevention. So if you need someone to talk to, just know that someone is going to be there to talk to you, and please pick up that phone. Until next time, please tune in to next week's episode as we have another fascinating person with an inspiring story. And please like and share and subscribe, and comment and do all the things to make this show get to more people that are out there. Until next time, bye y'all.
With almost 20 years of real estate experience in the North Texas area, the professional realtors at Hilton Realty Advisors have helped over 500 clients with their housing needs. Hilton Realty Advisors covers all areas of real estate: buying, selling, building, investing, and renting. We deliver the keys to homeownership to all through integrity, love, and joy. Call us today for all of your real estate needs.
If you'd like to contact Matt or know a fascinating person with an inspiring story that would make a great guest, reach out to the show at themattHiltonshow@gmail.com.